Hey there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. This is a Nissan Skyline 1993. That was bought from auction here in Japan. We're going to be exporting it to Florida in the USA. Alright, so this one here is a non-turbo version. It uses the RB20DE engine. Although it's slower than the turbo version, it is still a car with sporting potential. It's a twin-cam inline 6-cylinder 2-liter. Nowadays, you don't see these kind of engines anymore, so a lot of people aren't used to them. An inline 6-cylinder is kind of an expensive engine compared to a V6 to make. And so, usually, the company will make something like a 2-liter V6 turbo, or a 2-liter is usually a 4-cylinder, actually. The reason why they actually had this as a 6-cylinder 2-liter is because in Japan at the time, an inline 6-cylinder was seen as a premium offering. And so you could get a lot of cars in 2-liter 4-cylinder, but if it was the 6-cylinder version, that really helped with marketing at the time. I'm going to switch the engine off here. You probably heard the engine is ticking a little bit. That goes away with a little bit of a rev. Looks like the low mileage means that the car hasn't been run very much recently, and those hydraulic lifters just need to be pumped back up. Once you give it a good run in, I don't think there's going to be any issue with that. Okay, so the oil and the coolant are both okay on it. Oil pressure is okay. According to the gauge that's inside. Has not aftermarket, what looks like Cusco strut tower bar. On an older car like this, it makes a bigger difference, even if it is a double wishbone suspension, which generally speaking gets less effectiveness from a strut tower brace. Okay, gonna close the hood here. No rust inside, which for an R32 these days is becoming a rarity. Also uses this, ow! I was trying to... I held the hood up with my head so that I could put the prop down. But then when I went to go grab the hood, I instead grabbed this mop of hair that's on my head instead. And then I pulled my hair out. Anyways, what I was saying is this battery has the weird Japanese small posts. So if you usually can't get those types of batteries in the USA, so you have to convert it to a different style of posts. Okay. So the non-turbo has basically the same body as the turbo version, but not the GTR. Compared to the GTR, you get narrower fenders here. You also don't get your extra vent in here. And the hood is a different shape, different spoiler, a couple of things like that. You'll notice that these wheels are 4-bolt. That's only on the non-turbo. The turbo's got a 5-bolt. So this is the same hubs as the Silvia. Silvia as in like a 240SX. Or an S13, if you want to call it that. Here's the auction inspection sheet. Of course, I'm going to translate this for you. It's a 93 Skyline GTS Type J, 60th anniversary edition. It's an auction grade 3.5 with an interior D, so it's kind of on the lower end of conditions. Even though it's original 83,819 kilometers, these are super old cars now. And the nice thing about the Skyline is no matter what the condition is, there's going to be plenty of people that want to buy them. So they are still a pretty safe buy for importing them for sale. So the dashboard has screw holes in it, comes up or deformed and is cracked. I'll show you that when we get to the interior. There's 2 cracks here on the top of the gauge set. There's also some deformation here and the typical dash bubble that if you're familiar with the R32, they all seem to have it. Seat cigarette burn wear. There's actually a lot of cigarette burns in the car. It doesn't smell like cigarettes so much inside, but a lot of cigarette burns. Interior 1 part dirty. Trim is ripped. Aftermarket shift knob. Steering wheel has wear. It's actually a lot of wear, it needs to be replaced, and it's an aftermarket Momo unit. Oil leak, usually that's nothing to be too worried about. If it's leaking too much, we have to get it fixed here in Japan. Underside scuff dented and surface rust, that's nothing I would worry about. AC vent is cracked and missing, various scratches, dents, and repairs on the car. Some paint fade here, some medium dents on the hood, repainted fender, repainted fender. Also, the seller didn't say it had AC. It actually does have AC, but the AC doesn't work. Okay, so I'll do a once around so you can see the car from all angles, and then we'll take a look at any of the damages. These are rear wheel drive. I don't know if the GTS comes with a HICAS. HICAS is a 4-wheel steering system. I could actually take a peek underneath the bum to see if it has that. I would assume no, because Nissan would want to be making as much money on a lower trim as they can, and HICAS was something of an expensive option, I suspect. A quick look underneath here. Yeah, so that's just your regular version of the suspension. So no HICAS, which is actually a good thing. And some people would be interested in taking a car like this with a nice, strong, clean chassis, never been in an accident, no rust, and then turning it into a race car or doing an engine swap. Actually, in the racing series that we do, there's an R32 Skyline, and it has a SR20 swapped into it, a non-turbo SR20. And it beats us every time. They're like the top team. It's crazy. Okay, now these came with an automatic front spoiler for some of them. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have it, but it's a rare option where it goes and gives you the front spoiler. Okay, so taking a look at damages, we got a dent here. We got a kind of a scuff thing here, and then dent. Small dent there. Okay, now the paint is generally pretty good. It's a rare color. But these Skylines these days, it's just such good looking cars. I love it. And especially in the US, you never see Skylines. Well, depending on your area, you could have maybe never even seen one or noticed one. Here's the paint fade on the roof. Okay, now the gasket here is cracking. The gasket here has been taken off. See how it's chrome? It's not supposed to be that. And this is what I recommend that everybody do when this happens. There's boys over there working out. They've been coming here like every once in a while, taking their shirt off, which is really uncommon in Japan, so I think they're fishing. So this is what happens. It gets old and it'll crack, and eventually little bits will fall off and show the chrome underneath. So what people will do is take that piece off so that it's all just shiny chrome, and it looks better. I think it's there for sound deadening. It actually is not a seal for whether it's leaking or not, because it comes completely over the window. So no problems there. Okay, this part's separated. Same thing happened on the other side. Let me show you that. Okay. Spoiler is pretty flat and pretty normal. I like how it comes off the back of the car, like that. I think it would be cool to like take off the spoiler and then just add like a little stand there to make it a little bit taller, maybe angle it a little bit. The stock Celica GT4 has little plates that go underneath that of the stock spoiler to raise up the stock spoiler to be sort of like a giant picnic table style. Look it up if you haven't seen that before, it's cool. Okay, the stickers here are scratched, and the back here smells like fuel, so you might have a bit of a fuel leak going on in this one. And if the port isn't liking that, then they will deny the shipping and we'll have to get it fixed. And so if this is your car, please let me know about that. We can send it to a shop if that's what you want, or we can send it to the port, whatever you think. Okay, door cards. There is a little bit of a cigarette burn there. That might be, nah, that's nothing. Never mind. Here's something you want to watch out for. See how this is a little bit crusty white? It might have had water in the car at some point. It doesn't smell like mold or anything, but that can tend to happen if somebody left a window open. Okay, these seats, these can pinch you an awful lot. There's an adjustable pinch here, and right now it seems like it's in the full pinch mode. Cigarette burns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one here, I don't know if it counts as 2. It's the same burn. One up here too. Okay. Steering wheel and steering wheel peel. 83,900 kilometers, so plenty of life left on an engine that is going to be more reliable than the turbo version of it. Cracks in the dashboard there. Screw holes, like they said on the auction sheet, and there's the missing gauge set. What happens is this dash, and many Japanese dashes from the 90s, are prone to warping. They almost always warp there. And what this does is it pushes against the hard plastic here, and eventually it will just crack it because it's just like a tree growing through concrete. There's also a deformation there. Usually it's this one that will crack first of the two, and those vents are becoming pretty dear. This is a later model, so you get the textured plastic here, tape deck, AC doesn't work. Plenty of ashes in the ash tray. And missing the toggle switch here for the bass and fade. I don't know how that works. Bass and fade in one, treble and balance in the other. So maybe if you like push it out, it gives you one option, and push it in, you can't turn it. I'm confused. Okay, floor mats from an R33 Skyline. Wow, fancy. And that one's in gross condition. Gross. Okay. It is a Japanese 80s car, so you get back seats you can't use. Actually, it's not that bad. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Floor mats from the R33 back here as well. Or maybe not. Maybe I got that wrong. I seem to recall the R33 has a different hump there. I could be wrong. Okay, into the trunk. And this will be the last car that I shoot because I need to go to the tire store to deliver some tires. Even though we got a Land Cruiser and a Soarer to shoot next. Those have to wait till tomorrow. Okay, it's missing the cardboard underneath here. It usually comes with a card, but it just has the carpet and the tire. Now there's no rust in here, so that's extra nice. It is a typical area of rust. There is some paint that has come off and some surface rust here. None of it is bad. You can just file that down or sand it down and repaint it. You don't have to do anything. Spoiler. Okay. So that is the end of Skyline R32 GTS 60th Anniversary Edition. And that was in 1993 that it was the 60th Anniversary Edition. And so we're going to be at the 90th anniversary in 3 years. That's crazy. All right, so there you have it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, and have a nice day.